Well, hello there and good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. I am Frost PDP and we are playing more Master of Orion 2. That's right, retro gaming. So we have a scout ship. We are going to send it to scout a nearby yellow star in hopes that maybe we find something a little less crappy than we've already found. Alright, we have some new technology. Let's go over it. We have biospheres, which are nice. They enable a colony to better control environment. It lets you have 2 million more people. I know that's not a realistic number. It's really more like 2 billion people. And the whole idea is it gives you +2 population cap. And then there are hydroponic farms, which do exactly what they sound like. They give you +2 food. So basically you get an advancement that lets you have 2 more people and 2 free food, which is really useful. Let us invest in an electronic computer, because after all this time, we have spaceships in the sky, we don't have computers. Okay, I'm sure they mean like super electric computers. What is this world doing? This world is building a marine barracks. Well, it is currently at its population cap. The biospheres take the same amount of time, the same effort, so we're just going to change what it's doing. Because we don't really care too much about the morale penalty right now. We want the population. We want this world maxed out on population. Now this is perfect. Hold on here. We have found life. We have actually found 2 amazing worlds. We have a Terran world, a rich world. This would be excellent. And we also have a Gaia world, which is like incredible. Alright, we are in business. We know where we're sending our colony ship. We almost don't have to worry about scouting, but we will. We will scout the other system we can find, and it should be noted our scout has extended fuel tanks, meaning it can go further than most ships. So unless someone else is scouting with the same kind of ships, and it's a default build, so probably they are, but military vessels are not reaching our capital anytime soon. Hooray! Goy. Electronic computer is done, and we are going to research a laser cannon. We also found the Goy system, which has a rich swamp. So we are actually now doing much better in terms of having something around us that's worth living in. Our colony ship is what's going to take us to the stars, and the problem here is that we are short money. I almost want to just not research to build faster. Would that be a good idea? Not really. Well, yeah, maybe. We are also at our population cap on this world, so I'm not too concerned with taking a guy who's producing extra food and putting him on construction instead. Because if we look at this other world, we have just enough going on that they are fed, I hope. No, they are not. This little -1 tells me they're not being fed. So this guy who is now going back to farming is producing 1 extra bushel of corn to send here. That will change once we have the biospheres done. Okay, he's an instructor. What does that do? He is Yota. Master of Orion 2 is famous for its puns. Only the best bonus for... Okay, so he would increase experience points for our ships. Hooray! He's also famous, which means he will decrease the cost of hiring other officers by $90. But I don't want to hire him, so I won't. The force is not strong with him. Might as well send this guy back home. Actually, I might as well just sell him. Laser cannons. What do we want? We want... Okay. We'll go with the anti-missile rockets. Those are always useful. And we are hitting the turn button a whole bunch because turns are happening. Okay, random events. GNN, where the news comes first. The Bullrathi have unlocked optronics. That's unfortunate. So this planet constructed its biospheres, and we are now going to tell it to build a hydroponic farm to feed itself, assuming it ever grows, which it will take a while. Optronics, let's see. So basically they just got this technology here for free, and that contains a research laboratory which generates 5 research and increase each scientist's research by 1. It's big tech. That's actually something to bear in mind. Okay, actually, you know, it's so good, we're gonna go for it. can we quick buy the 8 turns or 124 bucks? We'll take it now. And we have a colony ship. And we are going to build biospheres here because, let's face it, we are at population cap. Although, for reasons I will get into later, that might not be a problem. So we're going to send our colony ship, along with the scout for no good reason, to Lone, where we have to decide which of these two to colonize first. The Gaia, which is small, or the rich Terran world. Well, let's look at the stats on them. Mass population 10, food per farmer 3, industry per worker 3, research per scientist 3. And here we have 8, 2, 5, 3. It actually might make sense to colonize this first, because when we put the worker here, it is going to be quintessential to get whichever one of these colonies we get first. We want to be able to build another one of those colony bases very quickly. And he gains a level, so now we're getting 10 research per turn. We're going to build it here. Yes, good, go. Accept. We are actually going to call this leader here, and the reason for that is medicine. Population growth rate, 30%. That's going to be a very nice little boost. Yeah, and we're still going to get the 10 research points. We could see, nope, no ship officers we want. So it's going to take 5 turns, but it's alright. We know we're going to not be giving you much food, but we're going to make you a worker. And we're going to start with the hydroponic farm, so we don't even have to worry about workers. In fact, I want to see how long it's going to take to build this colony base. 51 turns. Let's let this wait for a little while. News. The entire galaxy has a hyperspace flux. That is annoying. This is one of those, it sounds like a good idea on paper events. Oh, no one can move anywhere. Except, well, thankfully we're not starving our people yet. But now, I can't move my ships anywhere. No one else can move theirs. But it's become a situation where I can't even build another planetary ship if I wanted, or I could, but it's just going to sit there. But now that I have this planet producing extra, mineral wealth per turn as opposed to this one, I can still send a colony base over, which means I am not cut off from growth just yet. I'm not doing great with it, but I'm not cut off from it. I'm going to build a hydroponic farm here as well. They are expensive to maintain, but the trick here is that we are going to be able to feed our people without the need for as many farmers, and that's a nice perk. So this is a nice thing for missiles. This is a computer, and this is the research lab I was talking about. That gives you 5 free research plus 1 per scientist. That's very nice. What else do we want? The next thing we really want to go for, I think, is automated factories, which are what they sound like. They give you 5 production, and they increase the production of each worker by 1. So again, technology seems to breed technology in this game. We're going to click the turn button a lot. And the hyperspace. This is actually one of the fastest of these I've ever seen. Excuse me while I reach for a snack. Turn, turn, turn. There's a song about that, isn't there? For everything, turn, turn. Yeah, I can't sing. So this is our capital world, and we are building a research lab here now because I like research. We're going to be building a lot of, see, it's only going to take us 9 or 8 now turns to build the next tech. And Yoda has apparently leveled up, but we still don't care. So Lone's finished its hydroponic farm. We can already tell it to him to just go to straight production. Interestingly, when you have your things spread out, it's just called colony. But if you build your guys to industrial, then it says industrial. We're already going to dedicate our efforts to a colony base because we're going to keep getting more people. And as we do that, we're going to want to get to the colony base. So now the research lab is finished. And there's nothing technically for us to do. So we're going to build our first cruiser. And this is a shipbuilding. We can make it look differently. I like this. We're going to leave it as the Entard for no good reason. And the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to give it reinforced hull, which triples the structure points. In other words, you have 2 layers. You have 3 layers of defense. You have your shields, which are up here. We don't actually have shields invented yet. You have your armor, which you can't see clearly from here. Let's go titanium armor. It's based on your best research, and you get 30 structure points. You get 30 armor points. Armor is your second line of defense. Your shields go. Your shields are directional. You'll see them in combat sooner or later. Your armor is more universal. And then finally you have your structure points. Your structure is like your actual hull of your ship, and if it goes, your ship goes. So now we have triple the structure points. And we're just going to add... We're going to do interceptors. We're going to do 3 interceptors. Boom, boom, boom. And 1 nuclear bomb. And this is going to be a ship. What good is it actually going to be in combat? Well, hopefully we don't find out anytime soon. It's 24 turns to build. It's a long time. Sol 2. And now we have to decide what we want to build here. We could try for a colony ship. That's never going to happen. Try for a research lab. It's 5 free science. And we're going to check in on loan again. Loan 4. Automated factories already. I just forgot what my plan had been, so now that I remember, I'm going to go back to my plan. We're going to rebuild advanced metallurgy. It gives you better fuel cells and better armor, which is very nice to have early game. But we're also going to postpone building a ship because we're going to build the automated factory. We can always build this now. And you will notice eventually that all of these things, I'll go back to the design menu for 1 second. The armor and the shield, generally speaking, and the computer too, they will automatically update. So you don't have to go into this every time you get new technology except for weapons and special systems. But you do have to, rebuild old ships. So if I have a ship that's 3 generations old, it's still going to have the same 3 generation old crap on it. So it's best if you have a long-term building project on hand. So always just before the very last turn that it's going to be done is just to rebuild it. I'll show you what I mean. Hopefully briskly. So this is going to take 13 turns now that we have the automated factory. We're going to get our next tech in 12. That's perfect. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, a breakthrough. Hooray. We get it early. And that happens with science sometimes. I don't know why they did it that way. They just did. So we have the deuterium fuel cells. We have the titanium armor. We're going to tell our folks to start building shields. And we're going to go to Sol. We're going to go to our capital. And you see how it's only 4 turns? Well, already this is upgraded. Now it's defaulting to optronic, computer, and titanium armor. So we don't have to worry about that. And the fuel cells are included too, right? Yep. But if we had gotten a new weapon or a new system that we wanted to install, that would not necessarily automatically update. We would go back to this the moment it was due. So it's going to be 17 turns until we get new tech. I don't mind putting out a ship that's sort of outdated. And we can build a missile base. Planetary defenses are incredibly useful. I think it's obvious why, but just in case you don't know, sometimes enemies want to invade your planets, and it's very tough for them to get through your first lines of defense to get to your planetary weapons, at least early on. So we are scouting. We have this planet kicking about, building a research lab, and then it's going to build an automated factory. And then we can probably think about something else to build. What are we doing with Sol again, real quick? missile base. That's good, and then we're going to build another colony ship or two. We're going to start reaching now. How's Lone doing? Lone doesn't need... Well, Lone needs a farmer. Still need farmers here and there. It is 8 turns away from the colony base. That is $128. That's fine. Free colony base. Boom. Done. Book 'em, Nano. Click that turn button one more time. Select the colony base and the Gaia lands. Hooray. An automated factory, which will not technically be building because we don't have anyone working. But I will spend the money for the production anyhow. So this Gaia world is basically now, it's our breadbasket. It's where we're going to get food from. Lone finished a colony base. Well, this is our construction factory. Automated factory, go. So now we have an industrial world and a farming world. We're going to build a farm here. And as you start building things on your planets, you have to pay attention to your money. It will drop like a rock. This is what I mean by a better leader. 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%. Look at your face. You're weird. Director Androgyna. That's mean. So we have found Satyr. Ultra poor, poor. Okay. Keep exploring. Now the thing with exploring is not only will you find other species, you will find things like monsters. And you'll find the world Orion, which is guarded by a really powerful monster. So we built our missile base. A colony ship is next. We're going to build 2 of those. Then we might as well go for trade goods. Well, we could refit something too. Once we get shields, we could refit a planet. Or starship. Orion is a Gaia-class world with lots of free stuff, but you have to defeat a really powerful monster that you can't beat anytime soon. Lone 4, that is our industrial colony, right? I'm going to build the marine barracks now that we have some stuff going on, and then we'll build a research base. This morale is 20% penalty to everything we're doing. I want to get things to pay for themselves. And we have contact. Greetings, Emperor Frost. I'm glad to finally meet you in person. It will make watching your destruction so much more pleasurable. The Ant Guy. Where is he? He has 4 star systems under his control. That does not mean he has 4 planets under his control. He might have more. He might only have 4. But now we kind of know where he's coming from. We know that we're going to have somebody who might or might not try to screw with us over here on the other side of this wormhole, which makes maybe colonizing this world is not worth it. So we have a buffer zone, so he can't colonize it. It's always good to know what the race you have is. So, who are my enemies? Well, it would be nice to actually see their, he's an aggressive technologist. Well, what does that mean? It would be nice to know what his racial traits are. How about info? Race statistics. Okay, here we go. So they have a unification government, which is very good against spies, good for morale, good for population, good for, good for a lot of things. They are uncreative. That means they're only getting 1 technology application, which is selected randomly in a field. So, while I can get 3 at once, and regular people can get 3 in general, these guys just get 1 random one. That's it. That's all they're allowed to research. So they are not going to have much technology. We have that as an advantage. Even if they're ahead of us on tech levels, they are behind us in overall skill. However, on that note, I am going to take a break. Thank you for joining me, and as always, La Paz.